Hello, this is Shilpa here, and I'm so excited today because for the first time in the history of the homeopathic world, since software programs were created, we are planning to release for you an indefinitely free version. With a huge library, you will be able to access almost all the source books and the repertories of the past masters. So the first step for you today is to download and get that free Homeoquest community software with the core library. Now, there are lot of you would have a question because you may already have a software, either Homeoquest or some other programs. So one common question you may have is, do I need to get the software if I already have one? And the answer is yes, because the reason is releasing this free version is the first step for you to get the first level foundation version that will grow and evolve into something exactly what the community wants. Now, most softwares are created because the software maker thinks or the expert thinks that it's really useful for them or it's the best for them. However, through this community software, what the intention is that we would want to keep adding only those books and only those features that you as a clinician have always wanted, and everyone is going to benefit from it. So this will be like a dynamic, evolving live program that will be powered by the community spirit rather than having a secluded version stored in your desktop within your clinic, and you get something when there is an upgrade, when the repertory makers or the software makers think you need an upgrade. So this is something you like, it would be isolated from the rest of the homeopathic world if you have a version within your system. But through this dynamic community version, what's happening is whatever changes, whatever things that's going to be made are all going to be powered by the community, and that will be enriched by whatever rubrics or clinical rubrics you may have in your own cases. So all these different clinicians working in different clinics all over the world, the future I see is all these rubrics would be incorporated within the software. There would be a provision in the future for you to be able to add that and grow this. So we'll be enriching it as you go, as the community grows. But first things first, because that is way down the track. Right now, today, Azul and I have spent a lot of time and effort and funds to get this up running for you, because let me show you exactly what you're going to get in this first version of the community software. Okay, so there are about 5 different levels to this community software, and every level would be, the number of books in each level would increase. So this is what I'm going to show you, the 5th level, and it will have most of the source repertories and books. So Keynes, Bonninghausen, Boricki, Boger, Clark, Nair, Lippe, Roberts, and so on and so forth. So this is basically what you see. It has a repertory browser, it has a repertory search program, it has a Metramedica browser, and a place for putting your case notes. So this is, for example, I've opened up the Keynes repertory. These are all the different chapters within the repertory. So say, for example, I open up the Bonninghausen's repertory. Again, these are different sections within the Bonninghausen's repertory. When you click on a particular section, all the different rubrics in that section open up. When you click on a particular rubric, you get all the remedies in that particular rubric with all the sorted out degrees. And then if you want to repertorize, you basically double click and the repertorization starts right away. So you can select from different sections, you can select different rubrics, and the repertorization gets updated right here. And then if you want to look into the Metramedica, you can click on a remedy, and the Metramedica opens up with all the different books. So say, for example, we have clicked on Lycopodium and it opens up here. So these are the books which have Lycopodium, and you can select every book, and Lycopodium looks, opens up for you there. But the beauty is about the repertory search, where you can actually type in your keywords. So say I have fear of death, and I hit the search button, and you see fear of death wherever it occurs in any repertory in the entire program, you will find it. So you don't really basically need to know where this rubric would be present. So say for example, it would be mostly logically in the mind section, which is what you get in Lippes and in Keynes, in Bonninghausen. But look at that, you have something in the vertigo chapter which you have concomitance to death, and you have the complementary reference table in the Borges repertory which has fear of death, and in upper face in Nero's repertory there is red cheeks with fear of death. So you see, these are the rubrics you would have missed out if you would not have known each repertory and each chapter. And this is what the beauty is, and this is the critical part for me about having Homeoquest, is you can actually, it will go and search it for wherever it is, in whichever repertory it is. And if you like a particular rubric and you want to put that in, you double click from there within the repertory search, and the repertorization starts right here. So this is just a glimpse of those really world-class features that you're going to get there, and lots of different ways you can then repertorize this particular case, and it's going to be really, really fun. So I know this is going to really transform your stage 2 and 3 practice, and this is what we are going to offer you here. So look, we've decided to release these features are from the original current Homeoquest software, and you will have all these different you will have the excellent repertory search, you'll have the repertory browser, the Mathematica browser, a full feature repertorization program with all these excellent facilities to analyze your cases using various filters and combining and crossing rubrics, and the repertory search engine which selects remedies from different repertories together, which selects the rubrics from different repertories together and brings it together in one particular format. This single feature has been one of the most well received things since this software was created, because it allows you to simultaneously search keywords through all the repertories in your database, and it gives you a platter of ready to use rubrics for selection. And practitioners have responded more positively to this feature than anything in the last 10 years. And here, this is what it's going to do for you. So you do not need to know the structure of every repertory. You do not need to know what rubric lies in what section. In fact, all you need to know is your patient's keywords. And it could be vague words, you could expect to find in a rubric, but you can immediately land on the closest rubric possible, no matter where it is in the entire set of repertories, and you can immediately repertorize it within seconds. So it's quite aligned to what we fundamentally need as a clinician in a busy acute case. So your case analysis really becomes quite effortless, and you simply cruise through your casework within minutes. I repertorized cases within 1 minute using this when I needed to, because these were the exact features I used when treating those thousands of patients in my rural clinic. Over that span of 2 years, when I was a beginner in the 3rd year or the 4th year of my practice, because I was literally turning cases every 5 minutes. I had to, and in those days, I really didn't have any experience remedies did not pop up in my mind, and it was impossible for me to get those hundreds of patients in a day, because I didn't have a great memory as well. So, through this first version, you will get that real, usable, actionable tools which put you into action right away. And for this first software, for the first level, because there are 5 levels, so the first level, which will be released now, I've decided to include the crucial works of the top 3 masters of homeopathy, which is Hahnemann, Bonninghausen, and Borges. And then when you start sharing this with people, with members within your homeopathic circle, the library will keep on adding. Now, the reason why I've selected these 3 works as in the foundation core version is because a majority of the pediatric and acute quick cases I've seen in my acute clinic are solved using just these 3 books. And in my recent survey, when I asked all the practitioners within my homeopathic network to give me the top 3 authors they would want, the author of the past which came up at the top was Bonninghausen, and hence I've decided to use that particular repertory and Mathematica in my first level, right? But there is more, because as I said, there is a way to increase your library further by sharing it with your homeopathic friends. So every time you share it with a friend, and he or she has to be a homeopath, and when they install the program, your existing library will go one level up, and which is for free. Okay, but once you have 5 friends, you have the entire library, which I have demonstrated in the software. So all you need, you will be getting all these classical repertories in Metra Medica of Kent, Boricki, Clark, Nair, Lippert, Nash, Allen, the encyclopedias, the guiding symptoms, and all that in your repertoire. And I'll tell you exactly how you can invite your friends, and you can increase your library a bit further on. But right now, it is not one of those free softwares that is going to expire after a period. In fact, you're going to get all these world-class features of repertorization extracted from my current Homeoquest Gold version, which is one of the most user-friendly software and has loads of different search engines, but I've chosen the repertory search as the engine to work for this software. And it has been used by hundreds and hundreds of homeopaths, the Homeoquest Gold version. But this is something which I would like to offer a part of that for this community software. And it's a rare opportunity to have these features into that. So I'll tell you what some of my current users who are using those features within the Gold program say. So I have, one of my first, this is one of my very first client when this software was released for the first time in Australia, and she said, what I really like about Homeoquest software is its great feature of having everything you need to make an analysis on the same page and therefore on the same screen. It's easy to navigate the various tabs, move between Metra Medica, repertory browser, repertory search, remedy comparison, and other features, and keep on the same page. So it's very easy to learn, operate, and very clear to interpret. There's another of my colleagues who's a past student. She mentions, so she has another software with her, but she got this software as well, and she said, to be honest, I found myself getting a bit lost within the other programs, and digging myself into a hole and not being able to get back to where I started. And with Homeoquest, there's an elegant simplicity to the interface, allowing me to move easily between my case notes and analysis and repertorization and Metra Medica and so on, so I never feel lost. And there are hundreds of students who use this, and one of them, Martina, she says, during my studies I've tried and worked with a number of different homeopathic softwares and ultimately found Homeoquest to be the most compact, the most practical, and the most fun to use. I just love the ease of repertorizing with Homeoquest. So you see, the strength of the software is in the quick and easy referencing and the effortless cruising, and because I'm not a very technical person, and I don't, and I want everything together on that one page, because I always get lost. Things get lost within my computer. So it's wonderful for me, and I hope you enjoy it too. So, but there's something else as well. I'm also going to give you a free course where I will walk you through the different features. I just show you the quick overview of how the software, you can go through different sections so easily, but I'm going to actually sit down and explain and go through different features in great detail in this course, and the exact techniques that have contributed to my clinical success, and then the reason how I use this software. I'm going to train you all those basic steps. So I want to really help you use it immediately in your own cases right away. I don't want you to struggle with the tool and take your time, because the more you start using it, the more easier, because it's so easy. You can really start within a few minutes after you've got the software. So, and for the people who have gone through my tutorials in the past, they know I over deliver, because for me it's a very powerful experience to be able to show a software which you start built from scratch, and something which has helped you build your whole the whole case taking and the case analysis and the database of your patients right from that first start. So I'd go deep down into the nitty-gritties, and I give you behind the scenes, because I show you the case examples, I show you compares and contrast different case examples using different types of repertorization, because I've literally worked with thousands of cases using this software. So I have lots of stories, which features, which type of things, those hints and tips and techniques which you would love to, which will enrich your own practice, and will solve lots of actual cases too. So I think you're really going to enjoy this, and more importantly, improve the results in your quick and acute cases and your chronic cases which are at stage 2 and 3. And I will walk you also through those steps of what to do if you want to do in a situation where you have an acute patient sitting right in front of you. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to be able to use a tool within a minute when you have a patient, and you don't have to stop and struggle and try to find out where you can find that rubric or remedy. So if you don't get results and you cannot cruise through, then you're not going to remain interested in this whole thing. And it's important for me that you can get the knack of using this tool very efficiently, because otherwise I want to build this community so that we can build this database, and we can build and enrich the clinical aspect which we lack right now currently in our modern books, in our modern text. We still are reliant on the rubrics and the clinical rubrics from the past masters, and I think it needs to change. We need to have all these modern diseases and rubrics and symptoms and things incorporated in our database, and I think this is the way we can do this. This is the way I think is the future. So I'm also going to give you real life examples using the Bonninghausen and Kenton approaches, because it's like I'll give you a look over my shoulder stuff. I'll help you solve many cases, and you can interact with me. We can interact as a community, and we'll share and enrich the clinical rubrics, so which is my ultimate dream. So your success does not remain hidden in your individual clinics. Everyone can benefit when you cure cases, from simple infections to challenging incurable cases. We can all put it together, and the future homeopaths will benefit from them as well. So I will show you how you can increase your library as you go. And people who already have a Homeoquest software, they're all going to join in as well. They will have different other features and other books, but they are also going to be forming a part of the community, and it's going to be great. So I'm sending this software to you today for nothing. The risk is on me. I know I'm going to lose a bit of money keeping this version going, but I'm going to take a gamble, because I know I want to build a community where in the future we can collaborate and build on this existing resources. So I'm going to give you a seed actually on which we can build on, the seed of all our past legacy, which you can analyze and process through really some very beautiful default features which I think every homeopath should have. And so even if you do own a software, you will get immense value from this collaboration, and because we are going to generate new clinical information through this. And look, at any time, if you don't want to be a part of it, you can always cancel your subscription from the network, and you have no risk. But I do, because people they're charging hundreds and thousands of dollars to provide you exactly these world-class features in the software and in these books. And I just think in 2014 we don't need to do that. We have come a long way, and the future is really bright for me. And all I want to do is, I know this is going to transform our practice, and I need you to help me by sending it out to your homeopathic friends after you install, so we get more and more of like-minded people who want to work and collaborate together. Now, one thing I want you to know when you share is this software isn't for everyone. Even though it's for homeopaths, I'm very, very choosy about who we would include in this, because my products and my courses and my programs are quite expensive, and you've used a few, and they are world-class programs, and it's quite a departure and a test for me to offer something as valuable as this free to the community. And so for me, it's important that only serious practitioners who have their homeopathic fundamentals quite clear and who want to improve their success at stage 2 and 3, and who want to in the future collaborate and put in a bit of their own clinical gems and experience within this to build this up. So any diligent student or practitioner who want to improve their acute prescribing and quick prescriptions, who want to use the full potential of a source book and repertories, and who want to actually be open to putting in the clinical rubrics they have in their own practices and share, are welcome. And who want to be a part of the community and contribute the successful rubrics. So I want to weed out the practitioners whose fundamentals are weak. Or it doesn't matter if you're a student or a practitioner, but if you're looking for shortcuts, or if you're dependent on the software to solve your case, then the software is not going to be any different from the rest of them. The software is not going to solve your cases. It's going to be you. You have to be so clear of what you're putting in and what are the rubrics you want to be there, so that it will give you effective outcome. And that's what we're going to learn and contribute. So yes, my software works because it is documented, and there is a track record, and there are thousands of cured cases which it has solved, and it's being used by thousands of people, and they're getting great results. And it's working for all those folks out there who are doing a great job in their clinics and who have their fundamentals in place. But it's dependent on you. You have to have a very clear idea of the basic homeopathic principles to get value from these source books, and the philosophy behind it, and choosing the right tools for the right case, because otherwise it's wasted on you. But I'm going to teach you, so you're not in here on your own. I'm going to teach you. We're going to be there together. We're going to help each other out through the courses which I'm going to give you. But you have to be willing to step up your game. And I'll be there to answer every question you have on using the books, on using the repertories, on the clinical material, how you can get it in there. And I see this as a great way to work together and boost our results together. So here it is that you need to do next. This is a winning offer, and this is not going to last. Why? Because it has cost me lots of time, effort and funds to get this version up, and I know right now I'm releasing limited licenses in this community version, and I'm going to give every member of the homeopathic community on the homeopathic network, in this particular network, 5 licenses each, which they share with their 5 friends. And the reason is because this is a test. I've never made a free version, indefinite free version available before, and I don't know how it is going to go, and I want these licenses to go to the right people because they're invaluable, and it is going to take a substantial effort and time on my part and my technical team's part to keep this version going. So I'm quietly confident that this is going to be worth the commitment, and we are going to build a great legacy to benefit everyone. And I think this will be a successful project, because most of my other projects so far have been successful thanks to a lot of due diligence and your inspiration too. So I know the licenses are going to go very, very quickly. And if you want to benefit, then you have to take this big opportunity now and jump in today. So click on the link under this video on the page and sign up now. And look, I'm not a psychic, but I know these free licenses are going to go pretty quickly. So once you get your license, once you get the software version, if you get 5 of your friends to join in, then you're going to increase your library, and plus you're going to actually offer them a great invaluable product, because they are not going to get this license from anywhere else. you are the only source of, and I trust you to be able to give it to the right people. It's not going to be available directly from the website anymore. It's only going to go through you. And that's what, that is what I know my homeopathic network is going to get it out. So I hope to see you on the other side. I have lots and lots of people who are asking me about this already, but it is going to go through you. So hope you enjoyed the software, and I look forward to working on this great venture. And I'll see you on the other side.